Hey friends, what's up? Ash here. Welcome back to Extra Gents Scents. How are you? We're doing some first impressions today of basically a miniature discovery kit from the house of Amouage. Now, I wasn't sent this discovery set from the house. Actually, this is, I think, the discovery set that they made for Scent Explorer. I bought it from somebody on eBay and they still had it sealed and everything. So shout out to you, whoever you are. I was impatient, so I've already opened it up and I've already sprayed 3 of these on over the last 3 or 4 days or so. So it's a first impression, but I already have kind of an idea of how I feel about 3 of them already. But still yet, I haven't worn them enough that I could do like a proper review or anything like that. So these 4 fragrances are Lineage, Search, Guidance, and Purpose. And in today's video, I'll let you guys know what I think about them first impression wise. So let's jump into it. So there's not much to show as far as presentation goes. Just on the front it says Amouage, the gift of kings. And on the back it says Oman, Amouage. And just in full transparency, the brand has not reached out to me about any of these new fragrances. They've not offered anything as far as obviously discovery sets or bottles or anything like that goes. All right, so I'm gonna go right to left instead of left to right. First off, Purpose. So this is the first one that I sprayed on when I got this discovery set in. And that's because I had heard from some people that it smelled similar to Ganymede. And I will tell you, it does not smell similar to Ganymede, no. If you have convinced yourself that it smells similar to Ganymede, you're probably just really trying to make that a thing. If you spray them on side by side, they're very different. Ganymede is fresher, it's more minerally, the leather comes through more clearly in Ganymede. They're just quite different. The fragrance itself, I have worn only a couple of times. I guess I'll spray each one of these as we talk about them. So off a tester strip, it is different than off skin. It has a little more freshness off the strip. It has more of a spicy pop to it in the opening that you pick up off the strip. And I do think overall that it smells much better off a tester strip than off skin, unfortunately. So off skin, you still get that bit of spiciness. This has pimento in the top along with black pepper. You get a fleeting hint of freshness, not too much. Fragrance is quite dry, dry woodiness that you pick up very early on. And it has this little, wafting incensey smokiness that comes through. And so it's this sort of dry, semi-aromatic, smoky, woody fragrance. Off skin, I'm not a huge fan of how it wears. It's not really something that I would gravitate toward wearing myself. I had my wife check it out. She also was not a fan. As it dries down, that little hint of freshness and that touch of sweetness, that dies away, and essentially you're left with a dry kind of pencil shaving woodiness with puffs of smoke. It doesn't stand out in a big way in my mind. It's not something that I'm really drawn to, as I said. So Purpose, unfortunately for me, not a real winner. After that, Guidance. Now this fragrance is made to be more of a ladies fragrance. It comes in the ladies bottle style. And this one I actually liked a lot when I sprayed it on. I like it on skin, I like it off the strip. It smells really nice. It has this hazelnut accord, which is quite popular nowadays in men's fragrances and ladies fragrances also. A nice nuttiness to it, a little bit of a creaminess. It's got a very smooth sandalwood and vanilla vibe going on. It's sweet, it's lightly fresh, it's a little bit fruity. The floral notes in here come out as it dries down and start to kind of wrap around the fragrance itself. You have osmanthus in here, you've got jasmine, you have rose, you have saffron. The saffron, again, nicely sweet, pairs well with the pear in the opening. Pairs well with the pear. And even though it's not really loud, I think the hazelnut is really what does it for me, because I can pick it up always lurking kind of in the background on the outside of the fragrance, but it provides this great nuance that's always there. So this one I'm a fan of. This one I think is really nice. Oh, and I should say performance-wise, again, I've only worn these. I wore Purpose a couple times and then Lineage once, but performance seemed to be good. Lineage was a little bit more, as far as the performance goes, a little more push to it. Then we have Search. So Search is the other fragrance that is marketed toward men. The opening here smells great. The citrus is really good. So you have a combination of multiple citrus notes. You've got lemon in here, you've got orange, and it's bright, it's juicy, it's fresh, it's clean, it's sweet. It doesn't lean over toward that rindy side of things really. It's more like a sweeter citrus. And it comes off that way on skin as well. Smells good off skin, just like the tester strip. And there's this kind of interesting juxtaposition going on in the opening of this one. So you have this citrus and it's very present, you know, it's very alive. You can pick it up easily. It's unmistakably sweet citrus. But then you have like this bit of incense again and a smoky woodiness underneath that citrus, and they're kind of like not exactly in sync. So it's an interesting kind of thing going on where it's like, oh, very fresh and citrusy, and then oh, kind of resinous, even a little balsamic and smoky and woody going on underneath it. So it's like you took the top of a summertime fragrance and you kind of paired it with the base of a fall time fragrance, and it's not always as cohesive as I would like. There are times that I'll smell it and I'll be like, oh, that's really nice, and then a little bit later smell it again and I'm like, well, it's actually a little strange. And then as it dries down, that citrus fades away, and then you're left with kind of a lightly smoky, woody base. So yeah, this is one I waffle back and forth on. I think on the one hand, it's got some pleasant features about it, and then on the other hand, I can think of a lot of other things that I would rather wear instead of it for similar situations. Performance on it is the worst of the bunch that I've smelled so far. There's just not a huge amount to it that kind of draws me back in. And you do have to keep in mind here that the way that I'm speaking about these is with the understanding that you would pay $360 for it. Last one, Lineage. And this one I haven't smelled yet. So this is a lot fresher than I was expecting. Looking at the note breakdown, you've got all kinds of resins in there. You've got myrrh, olibanum, saffron, benzoin, vetiver. You know, you look at the note breakdown and you think, oh, this is gonna be heavy. It's gonna pack a big punch. You know, it's gonna be very deep and warm, etc., etc. But then off the top here, quite fresh, a little bit green, herbal, fresh spiciness. Those resinous notes, those warm notes, they're all kind of tamped down in the opening here. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. It's got a nice push to it. Yeah, I like it. I'm not in love with it, but I like it. So I think of all of these, that Guidance would be my favorite as far as just how it smells. The one that I would wear the most would be Search. I think that this has a little more usability for me out of the four. I like the opening on this one a lot. It's just as it dries down, it kind of doesn't do it for me as much. You know, as it dries, I don't like it as much. And then Lineage underneath that, and then Purpose is my least favorite of the bunch. So there we go, first impressions on these 4 new releases from Amouage. As far as reviews go, like full reviews on these, I'm not sure. I'll give them some more wears, and if I really come around to liking one of them and I pick it up, then I'll go ahead and do a review. But for now, I think we'll leave it there. There we go. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you again another day with another video. See you guys later.